I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all having a nice Sunday. Hope you all had a nice Saturday. Wow, the way last night ended. So there was one game remaining. Phillies, A's. I was up just under a half unit, so I was in the green for the day. Nothing crazy, but I was having a winning day. My last bet was A's money line. It was the bottom of the 10th. Tie game. Bases loaded with no outs. Just a sacrifice fly wins it for me. All I need is a sac fly. I get the sac fly. Dude gets thrown out at the plate. They brought in a pinch runner who, honestly, is probably a 60 speed in MLB The Show. Just no acceleration off the bag whatsoever. Thrown out at home, and then the A's lose in the 11th. Oh, man. So, I mean,
Oakland also had the lead in the bottom of the ninth, too, or the top of the ninth as well.
Yes, yeah. They also could have won in regulation and blew that as well. Mason Miller gave up a home run to Max Kepler. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much a break-even day. I lost like 0.3 units or something, but could have been a good one if the A's didn't ruin it. Yeah, so it's Sunday. We got 15 baseball games. The Knicks are on, obviously. So let's go ahead and start out with a game that starts very, very soon. This one starts in about 32 minutes. So, Toast, I know you have a bet on this one, but you can't get the number anymore.
Yeah, I played Tigers -1.5 here with Scooble on the mound. I got plus 100 at the -1.5. I don't know if I really would play it too much at -120 or so, but I just wanted to kind of I don't want to say like a bounce back spot like Scooble's been bad or anything like that, but his last two starts haven't really been Scooble-esque. And I think that this is a really good matchup for him versus the Guardians, who he's had a lot of success with in his career so far. Also, not the biggest Logan Allen fan either, but more than anything, this was just like a bet on Scooble, on top of the fact that this is not only a bad spot for the Cleveland bullpen. Clase 3 of the last 4 days, Kate Smith 2 of the last 3 days, Tim Herron 3 of the last 4 days, Matt Festa 2 of the last 3 days. Festa should be fine. I would assume Herron might be even fine too, but regardless, there's a lot of questions in the Cleveland bullpen. On top of all that, just to put it on a bow for you guys, this is a spot where we love to play the Tigers at home in these super early starts on the weekends. Going back a couple years now, just love this spot for the Tigers. So yeah, Tigers -1.5 for me.
Yeah, I mean, historically, the Tigers are really nice. Even when the Tigers are bad, they tend to win these afternoon home games. So we used to talk about that in previous years. Tigers afternoon in Detroit. I don't know. I mean, I get that they should definitely win this game. I can't help but think the Tigers might be in a little bit of a free fall here. I don't know. We knew the Tigers were going to come back down to earth eventually. We know that the Tigers are not the best team in baseball. They've now lost 3 straight at home to a Cleveland team that hasn't even looked that good. So maybe this is the reckoning for the Tigers coming back down to earth. I'm not taking Cleveland, but at the current number after the move, it would only be Cleveland at this big. I'm not betting this though. Frank?
Yeah, I'm with you on Tarek Scooble. Big game for him. I think he'll just go over 7.5 strikeouts. You look at Scooble's last 5 starts, 8 Ks, 11 Ks, 12, 8, and 11. Like you said, early day game, facing the best pitcher in baseball is going to be tough for Cleveland. And Cleveland's last 30 against lefties, 25% strikeout rate, which ranks 22nd. I think this could be a spot where Scooble just flies over 7.5 Ks, even gets to 10. So I like this one a lot.
All right, let's move on to game number 2. In game number 2 is Baltimore-Boston. Walker Buehler making a home start against Dean Kramer. Another suspicious price. How are the Red Sox only -125 here? I mean, the market continues to respect Baltimore, even though they do not respect themselves.
Especially considering the fact that Boston's going to have probably no Slayton, no Bernardino, no Justin Wilson, no Luis Guerrero in the bullpen as well.
Well, that actually makes sense. Then that would support the number. So that actually explains the number a little bit. But Baltimore's bullpen is not in good shape either. What are you taking the O's here?
No, I'm not betting this game. There's not a chance in hell I bet these two shit teams.
Frank.
For me, I took Walker Buehler over 15.5 outs.
Yeah, I get that.
We've seen some volume from Buehler this year. He had 2 games with 6 1/3 or more innings. Got ejected last start. Like you said, the bullpen's taxed for the Red Sox. Maybe they lean on Buehler to, at least get 5 1/3. This is a low bar to clear. So I'm going to go on Buehler over 15.5 outs.
I agree with Kyle that the number's kind of low just because Krispy Kreme, as our friend John would like to say, just absolutely terrible on the road. I still don't know how he had that start in Minnesota where he looked good over 7 innings. But besides that, Milwaukee, who's not even a good team versus right-handed pitching anymore, actually one of the worst, gave up 9 hits and 4 runs. At Detroit, 4 hits and 5 runs. On the road at Washington, 11 hits and 5 runs. So Kramer on the road really hasn't been good. So it would only be Boston here for me. I don't know. I just don't really want to get involved with it right now.
Yeah, I'll put Boston up. I don't really understand. I guess it would be Boston or over. What's the weather like in this game? Let me refresh the page there. Yeah, really nothing. You got wind blowing towards first base, but not a lot. So really nothing weather-wise. Boston or pass, but we're pulling 82% to 9% Red Sox at this number. So I'm not betting this.
It makes no sense. I agree with you 100% that makes no sense.
Somewhere out there, there's some sharp people with a strong position on Baltimore keeping this market balanced. Giants on the road in Washington.
For this one, I could start us off. I'm on Robbie Ray under 2.5 earned runs. He's really righted the ship. He's been performing well lately. Ray's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 7 of his last 9 starts. This is a little juice, but I've done well with these under earned run props when it gets to 2.5, and a pitcher like rolling right now like Ray is. I'm gonna go with it. So give me Ray under 2.5 earned runs.
Yeah, Washington came through for me yesterday. I had a full unit on the plus 130. This is my biggest hit of the day. So shout out to Nats for the 3-0 victory. You guys know how I feel about the Giants on the road. I don't trust the lineup. At home, they're a top 10 lineup, maybe even flirting with the idea of being a top 5 home lineup. They score runs at home, but on the road, the Giants turned into one of the worst lineups in baseball. I believe they're 29th in OPS or WRC plus on the road this year. So they're legitimately one of the worst road lineups in baseball. That being said, it's Robbie Ray against Soroka. Let's not get crazy, but I don't know how you can lay this number minus 163 with the Giants. I don't know how that could be feasible the way they hit on the road. They're truly terrible on the road. Toast.
Nats first 5 team total over 1.5 minus 120. So I love Robbie. I've been betting Robbie every single start and continuing to cash. Not today. Couple reasons why he over his last 7 starts, or I don't even know on the year how many road starts does he have, like 2, maybe 3. 3 road starts, 4 innings in New York, 4 innings in Philadelphia, 6 innings in Chicago. The New York and Philadelphia ones were fine. That was kind of back when he was still kind of wild, so he had like 4 walks and 5 walks. The control's been back. I don't really worry about that. It's just the fact that he is on the road and he's not protected by those swirling winds in San Francisco, which really does help. On top of the fact that he has struggled versus left-handed bats this year. Take a look at the Nationals: Abrams, Wood, Lowe, and then 3 other guys at the bottom of the lineup: Hassel, Nunez, guys like that, all lefties. On top of the fact, Ahmed Rosario, who's a lefty killer at the top of the lineup, batting second. And also the Nats, for me, get a pretty decent bumps. One of the bigger bumps at home with their bats are concerned. On the road, again, kind of very similar like the Giants. On the road, not really great. At home, the Nationals have been almost a top 10 lineup in Major League Baseball this year so far. So I just need to get 2 runs here through the first 5. I don't really want to deal with Soroka or anything like that, but I just thought that 1.5 was a little bit too low in that number.
Yeah, It's just so tough in the second half of the game with Washington with that bullpen. I know they haven't been quite as bad as perceived recently, so maybe the Nationals bullpen isn't quite as bad as you think, because we all joke around how they have this awful bullpen, and maybe they're not that bad, but they're not good. And now Kyle Finnegan's hurt. Jorge Lopez has gone 2 of the last 3. So, I mean, how Soroka hasn't been true. He really hasn't been that bad. But, I mean, how many innings are you going to get out of Soroka, and then who's coming in to pitch the end of this game for the Nats? You're going to have Jose Ferrer, Cole Henry's going to pitch. You might even see Jackson Rutledge. Jesus. I guess Nats are past, because the truth is, in Washington, the Nationals have the hitting advantage. As crazy as that sounds, the Giants don't hit on the road, and the Nats hit a lot better at home. So the Nats actually have the offensive advantage. So plus 135, I would go Nats or pass, but I'm good. Let's move on to the next one. Brewers Pirates. The red hot Pittsburgh Pirates. Man, got to give those Pirates some credit. The Pirates are doing it, man. What is it, 4 of the last 5? Pirates are one of the hottest teams in the NL right now. I say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but no bullshit. They've won 4 of the last 5. That's
at least you can
true.
say it.
I like when you tag Rockworld in the Discord. You're like, how about those Pirates? And he's like, let's not get crazy. He's like, Frank, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so I took Logan Henderson under 5.5 strikeouts. He's been great, Henderson has, for the Brewers. But like you guys are mentioning, the Pirates have been a bit better lately. Last 14, 20% strikeout rate versus righties, which is a big improvement. We saw Freddie Peralta only get 3 Ks against this lineup. This is a small note, but Logan Henderson pitching on 4 days rest, maybe that, he's a young pitcher. Maybe that could potentially be less of a pitch count. But yeah, the Pirates are just playing better. Even Aaron Savali, 3 Ks, Brady Singer, 3 Ks, Nick Martinez, 3 Ks in recent outings. And it was a little fishy. Last night when I took this, I saw Pinnacle had this under at minus 230. And then I had elsewhere is like minus 150, minus 160. So I laid the juice with this one, considering the Pirates' improvements. One big thing for Pittsburgh is Spencer Horwitz back. He's been back for like a week or so, and he's looked pretty solid. He's got good plate discipline. He draws walks. So that can elevate the pitch count, help us out with this prop as well.
So I took a loss in this game yesterday. I tailed Johnny Legeza on the over here. Kind of leaning towards the over again. Something to consider, and this is why, as much as I would love to be like, Pirates are hot, keep betting them, this is kind of crazy here. The Pirates bullpen is cooked for this game, like real bad. And here it is in case you need to see it. Bednar, back-to-back days. He's not going to be available. Dennis Santana, back-to-back days. He's not going to be available. Caleb Ferguson, back-to-back days. He's not going to be available. Then you get down to Shugart. Okay, he only threw 3 pitches yesterday. Maybe he's available, but he's gone 3 of the last 4 days, so he is overworked as well. There's a chance he's not available. So if you want to know who's pitching the late innings for the Pirates in this one, you're looking at names like Tanner Rainey, Isaac Mattson, and good old Joey Wentz. That's formerly known as Detroit Tigers Joey Wentz right there. If you've been betting Major League Baseball for a couple of years, that should concern you to know that he might be pitching in this game. So as much as it sucks to bet on Milwaukee, I think minus 134 is a reasonable number. I don't even know if I trust the Brewers to hit Bailey Falter. Truly, I don't know if I do, but the advantage they're going to have in the late innings is so substantial that I think minus 134 is affordable. I think I'm going to bet this.
Yep, I've already bet it. I bet it about 5 minutes ago when I was telling you about the bullpen. So it's just for me, on top of the fact that I don't want to take away what Bailey Falter has done, especially his last 3 starts. He hasn't given up a run in his last 3 starts against Cincinnati and Atlanta at home, and then he went on the road to the Mets. That was only 3 2/3 innings, but he's been really good. Even going back to the San Diego start at home as well, and Washington. Like, he hasn't given up a run at home, and I think he's given up 1 run at home in 4 starts, and it's like 14, 20, 27 innings. So he's been almost untouchable at home. I just don't know if that's going to continue to last. I will give you that if you're like, oh, the Brewers versus lefties, yada, yada, yada. I wouldn't really argue that. But more or less, I still feel like he's going to give up a couple. I just think he can pitch at this level at this long. And then as far as the bullpens are concerned, with Milwaukee having everybody rested and ready to go, nobody pitched yesterday for Milwaukee. So even if Logan Henderson on 4 days rest, which was a good note by Frank, is short today, I still trust that the Brewers bullpen has enough arms to get us through this. So I just thought that 134 was cheap. Hopefully I'm not walking in a trap. I don't know.
So freaking, I just went to bet that minus 134. It disappeared in front of my eyes. So the best I can get is minus 142 now. This sucks.
Damn.
It literally was just
I hate
minus
that.
134.
I know. I hate that shit.
So I got it at minus 142. Ew.
Ew. I don't even like that.
All right. I did bet it. Let me just share it with everybody. All right, I'm in. Next. Cubs Reds. Shout out Reds yesterday came through. I will say it was a little concerning watching that game. The Reds had a pretty good lead the entire game, but the Cubs were barreling the shit out of the ball. Every single inning was like, oh, they're going to blow it this inning.
Me and Kyle looking at each other like, another one to the wall.
Yeah, he did. Oh, my God. The Reds probably caught, not exaggerating, 6 or 7 fly balls on the warning track in that game. So, yeah, the Reds get a win. Yes, yesterday for me, that was one of my bigger bets. This is the Reds money line. This should be a good spot for the Cubs to score some runs. I think I'm in agreement with Toast here. You took the team total over, right?
Yeah, I took the Cubs team total over 4.5, minus 105. It's around minus 120 now. You might be able to get 115s or whatever, but I wouldn't let the 10, 15 cents swayed you here. I get that the Cubs versus lefties haven't been like anything special over the last couple of weeks, but I mean, they faced guys like Ryan Weathers, who I know that name doesn't really mean much to anybody, but he's been pitching really, really well this year. He's changed some stuff around. So the fact that he pitched really well against them twice in a row is really not a shocker to me. Robbie Ray obviously been pitching really well, but the Cubs got to Quintana. They got to Heaney. Obviously, Luzardo pitched well, but they got to Corbin, Hart, Springs, Eduardo Rodriguez. So I don't really worry about the Cubs versus lefties, on top of the fact that we know that Nick Lodolo can't pitch at home in Great America Ballpark right now to save his life. On top of the fact that the Reds, let me pull up the bullpen. What was I going to say about the bullpen? I don't think the Reds bullpen is taxed off the top of my head. Yeah. Okay, so this is what happened. So Santillan is back-to-back days, but Pagan and Pagan and Ashcraft both went yesterday. They'll be available, but they also both gave up a run yesterday as well. So even if Cincinnati uses the big bullpen arms, or quote-unquote big bullpen arms, later in the game, the Cubs scored runs off of them both yesterday. So not to mention the weather's fantastic in Cincinnati today. I really like this Cubs team total over.
Yeah, I'll bet this with you. What do you think, Frank?
For me, I'm on Nick Lodolo under 5.5 strikeouts. I got this late last night. It was juiced. It's now down to 4.5. Best price you could get under 4.5 is at BetMGM plus 130. I still like that. Like you said, Lodolo really struggles at home. You look at his 4 home starts, 4 Ks. He had one with 6, but I believe that was against the Mariners, who strike out a lot. And then the other start was with only 1 punch out for Lodolo. The Cubs last 30 versus lefties, 18.3% strikeout rate, which ranks 5th during that stretch. I think it could be a short outing for Lodolo, and he struggles and stays under this. Goes in line with your pick. I'm with you.
Yeah, the home starts too. I mean, his last couple of home starts, the White Sox, the Nationals. I mean, it's really not that impressive either. So the teams that he's facing either. So,
damn, another one. There was a minus 110 disappeared before my eyes. That's 2 in a row.
Damn, those are the worst.
Where is the Cubs total runs? Minus 115 I have to take. Jesus Christ. That's what I get for waiting 2 hours before freaking the game starts to bet.
Yeah.
All right, Cubs team total over. I'm in at a shitty number.
It's not that shitty.
It sucks. It's the principle.
Oh, no, I get it. That I get.
No, I don't
Trust
think you
me.
get it, because you're saying it's not that shitty. It is shitty.
I lost another one.
I
Day,
just shared
dude.
that in the tennis group. Sorry if you're in the tennis group. I was up late doing a deep dive on FAU football returning production last night. Yeah, so I bet it. Cubs team total over 4.5. There. I'm in. Not at this number. I got shafted. Minus 115 next game. Blue Jays Rays. Shout out first 5 under. 3 runs in the first inning and then zilch for the next 4. You love to see it. Berrios, I was cursing him out there. Gave up 3 runs in the first inning. I was like, this dude sucks. He got his shit together. Also, some good defense helped me as well.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So now we got Bassett, Pepio. I don't even remember talking about this game in the voice chat last night. Frank, you have anything here?
Yeah, I like the over. It got over 9. That's where it still is in most spots. You look at Roto Grinders, the weather, winds blowing out 5 to 10 miles per hour, 90 plus degrees. Of course, this is a minor league park. We could see the runs pile on in this one, even with Bassett looking good this season. Like, look what Hunter Brown did in this park earlier this week. He was rolling, and then he struggled as well. I think this is a game where the bats come alive after being dormant throughout this series, and it goes over 9.
I don't hate that.
What do you think, Toes?
Why
Why are you so off center? Your camera, dude.
I don't know. Sorry.
All right, go ahead.
I don't really have an opinion on this game. I guess you can say Toronto or pass for me just because of the Rays bullpen is in kind of a situation. Fairbanks has went 4 the last 5 days. Clevenger went yesterday. Rodriguez is on back-to-back days. So, I mean, it's nothing crazy, but, I mean, Toronto does have everybody rested and available, and I do think that they have a little bit of a starting pitching advantage. So you can put up Toronto for me. There's not a chance in hell I bet this. The Rays have actually been getting to right-handed starters to the overs point, like Frank was talking about as well. So I just don't know what to think. I don't know what we're gonna get out of the Rays. I don't know if we're gonna get the good Bassett or the bad Bassett. I just don't know which one we're gonna get. So it would be only Jays or pass for me.
Problem is, I don't need.
I don't want. I want to bet the Jays, and then I'm like, oh, if they're gonna lose this game and they're gonna have a full bullpen, and I'm gonna be like, man, awesome.
No, this is a Toronto.
Yeah,
This
it's a
is
Toronto spot.
bet.
I just don't know if they're gonna actually win.
Yeah, the Rays terrible against sinkers and cutters. That's what Bassett does. You got Pepio, who actually struggles with righty bats. The Blue Jays are loaded with righty bats. Bullpen advantage, Toronto. God damn, this is a Toronto spot.
Trying to avoid the sweep too.
And
That's a minor thing, but hey.
No, I mean,
God damn, am I about to bet the Blue Jays? Let's see what number I can get.
minus 108 FanDuel DK. Free.
I can get minus 105 on Caesars, dude.
Damn it. Doesn't show that on my screen. Lucky you.
Hold on, maybe I can't.
Are you? Oh man, if you're really gonna bet
Minus
them.
110. I'm betting it.
Just be prepared when it's second and third, nobody out, and they get doubled off at third on a liner or some kind of crazy shit, and they don't score. The Jays just are notorious for this.
Dude.
Yeah, they're a pathetic franchise. All right. Damn. 1 second. God damn. All right. Let me share that with the group. All right. Next. I'm in.
All right.
Rangers, White Sox. Lost this one yesterday, the first 5 under. Dude dropped a routine fly ball. That wasn't really the reason I lost, but I just wanted to mention it. It was the first 5 under 4.5. That I won the same exact bet that the previous day, lost it yesterday. Frank, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, so I'm on White Sox first 5 plus half. The Rangers have lost 6 games in a row. White Sox playing a bit better, winning 3 of their last 4. Davis Martin's pitching pretty well. 2 runs or fewer allowed in 4 of his last 6. And in Davis Martin's last 2 starts, 7 1/3, 2 runs, 6 2/3, 1 run. Rangers sending out Patrick Corbin. I mean, he's been a decent, innings eater for them, but it's Patrick Corbin. He could blow up at any moment. Give me the White Sox to at least keep it tied after 5.
I mean, the White Sox put up like 1 billion runs yesterday. What do you think, Toast?
I think I'm tired of losing money on Patrick Corbin in this Rangers team in spots that they should win and they don't. So I took a loss with Texas yesterday. Probably just a stupid move on my part, but I don't know how you bet them at this number right now anyway. I mean, for as much as you want to say about the White Sox bullpen, you can say the same thing for Texas. So I don't see how you could possibly lay a number with Texas right now. Davis Martin has actually been somewhat feasible. I mean, a couple clinkers here and there, but I mean, especially his last 2 starts on the road at Cincinnati, at home at Seattle, 6 2/3, 7 1/3, 1 run and 2 runs. I mean, he's kind of been pitching fine. I mean, the Royals got to him, but at home, the only time that he's actually looked bad at home was the A's, where he gave up 8 hits over 5 runs or 5 innings. So Davis Martin at home really hasn't been bad. I mean, the White Sox first 5 money line, I can't even play it. It's at -115. I mean, so it would only be the White Sox for me, but I couldn't pay -120 to bet that team. No, it would only be White Sox for me.
I will note I did this early in the morning, and it's moved. Like before, the Rangers were favored in the first 5, and now it's switched. The White Sox slight favorites. So if you take +0.5, it's a little bit juiced now. More so than I got it.
Yeah, dude, you almost got like $1 CLV. I'm seeing like +0.5, -150. Like that's awesome.
I think, yeah. So it worked out nicely. Hopefully the White Sox keep it rolling today.
The only way I would go here is under. I know 8's a low number for a team just scored 10 runs yesterday, but this is not a. They're towards the bottom in terms of run index on Ballpark Pal. It's going to be cold. Both these lineups suck. So in theory, this game should be 3-2, but I'm not betting it because, like I said, the White Sox scored double-digit runs yesterday, and it wasn't even a fluke. They were straight up hitting the ball. Mariners, Astros. Frank's got a Colton Gordon bet in this game.
Yeah, so Colton Gordon over 4.5 strikeouts. Gordon had 7 Ks in 5 1/3 in his last outing.
He looked good.
Yeah, and
he
Gordon
had both starts. Yeah,
he's been solid, good command. Gordon 25+ K rate in AAA this year, so he has somewhat of some chops to get some strikeouts. And you look at the Mariners; they're starting to strike out a lot, like they were last year. Once again, last 14 versus lefties, the Mariners have a 30.9% strikeout rate. All we need is 5+ from Gordon here. I think he gets there.
What do you think, Toast?
Astros first 5 team total over 1.5 here. I mean, Sauce has been kind of the one that's been preaching this, but the Astros offense at home has been a completely different story. And now I get that Castillo is bad against lefties and decent against righties, and Houston has a whole bunch of righties, but Houston knows this. Houston knows this guy. They've seen him a lot the last couple of years. And to be honest with you guys, I just don't really trust Castillo on the road at all. His last couple road starts against Texas and the White Sox, obviously 2 of the worst teams in Major League Baseball. He looked really good, but previous to that, he gave up 3 to Toronto in 5 innings. He gave up 4 to Cincinnati. I'm sorry, he gave up 6 to Cincinnati in 4 innings. Just don't really trust Castillo on the road. Doesn't mean that I think he's going to get absolutely annihilated and Astros are a lock, but at the Astros team total at a decent price at 1.5, where I've had a lot of success with these 1.5, it was just too much are too good for me to pass up. So at 2.5 at plus money, I wouldn't do it. I know that I don't think it's really at that number anymore, or at that number at 2.5, but I just felt that 1.5 in the first 5 with this Houston offense that's much, much better at home. One of the best offenses at home in Major League Baseball. I just thought that was a little bit too low.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the Astros here. Obviously, this is a little concerning over here, and this is probably a big reason that we're looking at Seattle minus 140 right here. The Houston bullpen.
Yep.
There's most likely going to be no Josh Hader and Brian Abreu. So most likely missing their top 2 bullpen arms. But the thing with Houston's bullpen is I kind of like Brian King and Caleb Okert. These guys,
I like Okert. Okert's good, yeah.
So
nasty lefty.
Gordon looked good in his last start. I mean, if he's able to pitch into the 6th inning, there's 3 arms here that I trust. I don't know. I'm not like Toast said, Castillo, he's not a bad pitcher, but like even when he pitches well, it's like 6 1/3, 3 runs. Like he's still going to give up a couple runs. So I don't know. Astros are pass. I'm not betting it.
I like that. Yeah, Castillo's like, you could see the decline. He's no longer that strikeout pitcher. He's more an innings leader. Gives up a lot of contact. I like that for you guys.
Well, and all of his good starts are the bad teams: Miami, Texas, the White Sox. And the only time that he ever pitched good against somebody that was good was the Yankees at home. So, good for him.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Royals Twins.
Another heartbreaker for me. Shocker. Just can't, dude. I lose the A's like that. I lose the Royals like this. That's 2 + 1. That's
no, but you got the Cardinals. If you lost the Cardinals also, I'd be like, okay, you might be cursed. But you got the Cardinals on a late heroic thing.
Okay. I got one, guys. I got one.
Bubic against Ober. Frank, you have anything here?
Yeah, so I got Bubic over 5.5 strikeouts. What a year he's having. Biggest breakout story of the year. If you picked him up in fantasy, you're loving life early in the year. Bubic has shown a high ceiling. He has a couple starts with 3 starts with 8+ strikeouts. Prior to last outing where he had 5 Ks, he had 9 and 7. He's been going deep in games. Bubic has 6 1/3 in 3 straight. I think if he gets there again against this Twins team, who the Twins against lefties, 25.2% K rate, which ranks 23rd in MLB. I think Bubic should be able to get to 6+ Ks. I hit this on Friday with Noah Cameron. It was only 3.5 Ks. He ended up getting, I think, 7 or something like that. Bottom line is the Twins struggle against lefties, are more strikeout prone against them. I think Bubic gets it done for us here.
Toast.
I didn't bet this game. I honestly, I have no idea. I think this is a great price game. I think both the bullpens are good to go for the most part. You're not going to have Urseg for the Royals. You're probably going to have everybody for the Twins. Both these pitchers have been pitching out of their minds this year. I don't even have a reason to fade either one of these pitchers, honestly. So I think the total's at 7.5 for a reason. So I guess under, if I had to make a bet, I guess. I really don't know. I think this game is an absolute coin flip. I think the starters are even. The lineups are even. The bullpens
are not even.
So
the lineups are not even.
That's your opinion.
What are you talking about? You're on record talking about how Kansas City can't score runs.
Yeah, and with Buxton out and Correa out, and them using guys like Brooks Lee and McCuster and Willie Castro and Jonah McBride. Like,
I wasn't considering the injuries. That makes sense. Oh, Correa's playing though.
Whatever. He sucks.
It would only be Twins. The way that I would get to a Royals bet here is if the Twins used up their bullpen getting the win yesterday, and they really didn't. I mean, yes, they're probably not going to see Griffin Jacks, maybe not Brock Stewart, but I mean, you're going to have Louis Varland, Cole Sands available, Duran's probably available to pitch again, and they've been good. So Twins have bullpen arms to close this game out. Bailey Ober should definitely give you 6 here. And on the Kansas City side, I mean, they're missing Urseg, who's been their best bullpen arm.
And Schreiber's
also pitched 2 back-to-back days. So weirdly enough, Minnesota actually, despite winning the game, might be in a better position in the late innings. I don't see a path to the Royals hitting up Bailey Ober here. So, look, do I expect the Twins to get to Bubic? No, not really, but we could be looking at like a 2-1, 2-2 game in the 6th inning, and I feel I'd be sitting on the home team with the bullpen advantage. I'm not going to bet it. I'll probably need a -110 to bet it, and it looks like we're looking at more -120, 125, but Twins are pass for me.
If you're looking, I will say Bobby Witt has absolutely obliterated Bailey Ober in his career. 11 for 22, a double, 2 triples, a homer, 5 RBIs. He's got like a 1.4 OPS against Bailey Ober. So if you're really trying to bet this game somehow, maybe a Bobby Witt props. But
Toast, you going back to the well here? Cardinals came through for you.
I am going back to the well. Let me pull this up really quickly. It's I paid hella juice for it though. Where is the Cardinals bet? There it is. Cardinals first 5 team total over 1.5, and that's going to come in at a -150 price.
Jesus.
Absolutely disgusting. But I just don't. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't see how it loses, but I really, really like this bet. I mean, first and foremost, you have Brandon Pfaadt, who I'm not really the biggest fan of. I've never really been a big fan of. I know I kind of get into arguments with guys like John and stuff like that. And I don't know how John feels about him, but the model guys, they seem to really like Brandon Pfaadt. I'm just not really there, in my opinion, personally. I think that he looked really good in the postseason for the Diamondbacks, and everybody kind of remembers that. And he got paid, but I just think that he's kind of like an average arm. And with that said, I mean, if you look at like his game logs, I mean, on the road at the Dodgers, on the road at the Giants, on the road at Philly, on the road at Miami, the only time he looked good was on the road at Miami. That's first and foremost. But it's more or less for me about, well, obviously fought on the road, but it's the Cardinals offense at home and the Cardinals offenses versus right-handed pitching. Top 5 at home, top 5 versus right-handed pitching in Major League Baseball as well. And if you pull up, actually, if you could, Kyle, pull up the right-handed starting pitchers for the Cardinals versus other game logs, they've hit this number in every single starter that they faced going back to May 5th. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think 11 guys. I'm sorry. The only guy that they didn't get 2 runs off of through the first 5 innings was Michael Wacha. And they had 8 hits against Michael Wacha in that game. So I just, again, is 1.5 very, very low? Yes. And did I pay juice for it? Yes. But I think there's a reason for it. On top of the fact, Brandon Pfaadt's top 2 pitches, fastball and slider, Cardinals absolutely destroy those pitches as well. So again, did I pay a lot of juice for this? Yes. -150 is crazy, but I really like this bet. I have a hard time believing the Cardinals don't score 2 here today.
The weather's a little concerning here. What's going? Did you look at the weather here, Frank?
Oh yeah, it looks like on Roto Grinders this one has a yellow. So the quote: fairly widespread light to moderate rain in the morning. Could be a late start. They think it'll be 9 clean innings, but maybe a late start. Wind blowing in at 10 miles per hour. But even with that said, I like Toast bet here on the Cardinals. Cardinals team total. I also have the Cardinals, but I went with Cardinals first 5 money line. On top of what Toast said about Pfaadt, who, mind you, even though he only allowed 3 runs against the Dodgers in 6 innings, he had 0 strikeouts. Previous start, only 3. Like he's not really missing bats right now, and the Cardinals don't strike out much either, so they're going to put a lot of balls in play. But on top of that, Sonny Gray at home. Look at his last 2 home starts: 6 shutout innings against the Tigers, who hit righties well, 10 Ks in that start. Prior to that, May 7th against the Pirates, 7 shutout innings. I think the Cards have a significant pitching advantage, like we've outlined, and they're playing great. St. Louis 15-4 in their last 19 games. D-backs have lost 4 in a row. Give me Cardinals first 5 money line.
Kind of like the Snakes here, but I don't hate your guys' Cardinals early look.
Yeah, you're looking at the bullpens.
I'm looking at the Cardinals bullpen.
Yeah,
there's no Helsley
in the first 5.
There's no Helsley.
Yeah, I did it too.
Yeah, Phil Maton's going to have to pitch a big inning for St. Louis tonight. Jojo Romero is going to have the game in his hands. John King, who the hell is that? He's going to pitch a big inning tonight.
Hey, come on, leave John alone.
So my bad. Is that your cousin? Yeah, I think this is a nice little price here with the Snakes. By the way, Sonny Gray
sucks.
Not a fan. I'm not a Sonny Gray supporter. So hope you guys have a 3-2 lead after 5. Arizona's going to put up 4 late. I'll bet it. The reason I'm a little hesitant is Frank talked about it. That the weather looks weird here. Yeah.
I do, like Frank said, from what I'm reading, obviously I'm not a meteorologist, but
Yeah.
It looks like if they're not, even if there's a delay, I think they're going to get all the game in. If they might start an hour later and then get it all in. So
plus 108. Sorry, 1 sec. Let me get the bet down. Plus 108.
All right.
Snakes.
as we get to the next game, I just wanted to say, you don't hear me say this a lot, but shout out the Yankees. for scoring runs yesterday. I really appreciate it. I was a little worried. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Yeah.
A little worried.
Like Yankees team total, that's a loss.
Oh.
And they scored like 10 runs in the fourth. All right, I'm in.
I felt good.
Next game.
Frank, I'm running so
Yankees,
bad.
Rockies, and Coors.
Oh, I know that feeling. But I could start us off with this one.
Please.
Yankees, I went with Will Warren over 6.5 strikeouts. Will Warren's really figured it out lately. Last 4 games, 10 Ks, 9 Ks, 7 and 8. We just need 7 in this one. I know it's at Coors Field, but if you look at the splits, even at home, the Rockies strike out a lot. They rank 28th in strikeout rate at home. So they're just abysmal. The one concern is weather. On Roto Grinders, this has an orange/yellow. There could be storms and maybe have a delay. Hopefully it turns into a late start instead of like a interruption, which could shorten Warren's outing. But like, given how the Rockies strike out and what Warren's done lately, I could see him getting to 7 in 4 innings, really. Like, even look at Clark Schmidt on Friday. I think he had 8 Ks and only 4 and a third. I think Warren gets there as well here.
As much as I would love Tella to throw 7 shutout here, I just don't think it's physically possible. I believe he's given up 4 or more earned runs in like 5 consecutive starts.
6 of the last 7, yep.
6 of the last 7. So the Tella does not have his best stuff working. I mean, you're not going to find anything on paper that indicates the Yankees should score less than 6 or 7 runs in this game. I mean, you're not going to find anything. So maybe the weather, like Frank said, but I have no freaking idea. No bet, no interest.
I still feel kind of lucky that the Yankees exploded for 10 runs in the 5th yesterday, so I'm not going to really test that again. But like Kyle said it perfectly, there's nowhere where you're going to find on paper that the Yankees don't score runs on Sensatella. So the weather's enough to throw it off for me. But yeah, I got my money with the Yankees yesterday. I'm not going to test it again today.
Would love the Tella to show up, man.
I would love that too.
I don't think it's in the cards.
I'd like a rain delay for him to start the game and then come back out an hour later and then shove again, just to show him the crafty vet that he really is.
The freaking A's.
Dude. You know what the sucks about this game too is that I was like, oh, I want to play on the A's tomorrow with the runaway day or getaway day and stuff.
You can't.
The Phillies bullpen isn't even that bad.
The A's used all their arms. That was their game to win.
It's a joke.
Bases loaded in the bottom of the 10th. All you need is 0 outs. All you need is a sac fly to win. They get the sac fly. Guy gets thrown out at the plate.
And our guy Holman's 3 of the last 4 or 2 of the last 3.
Yeah, I mean, that was their game to win. They did win. What was it, like 15 hits to 6?
Dude,
like,
I can't.
It was crazy. How did the A's not win that game? I don't know how you take the A's here. Gunnar Hoglund's been good, and honestly, I think there's a chance Gunnar Hoglund can pitch pretty well against the Phillies. They haven't been quite as potent against right-handed pitching, and Hoglund's not bad at all. So I don't think it's crazy that Hoglund pitches a decent game, but in the late innings, I mean, you're not going to have Mason Miller. You're not going to have Grant Holman. You're not going to most likely not going to have Sterner. The Phillies have the huge bullpen advantage. Remember, the reason that I played the A's last night was the Phillies were missing those main arms, Romano, Strahm. Romano and Strahm rested last night.
Yeah.
So they had those guys. Now, the rest of the Phillies bullpen is in a little bit of rough shape, but Luzardo could definitely give you 6 here. So I'm not going to lay 1.5 with the Phillies on getaway day. Their last game of a road trip tends to be a little bit of a flat spot, but based on the bullpen availability here, the only way I'd go is Phillies minus 1.5. Maybe, nah, Phillies minus 1.5 or pass. Not going to bet this.
Yeah, I'll go. If I first 5 under 5.5 minus 120 or pass. I just feel like 5.5 is really high. For a team in Oakland that I don't even know if can hit anymore at this point. I mean, it's just so bad.
And they were smacking the ball yesterday.
Yo, this team.
They had like 15 hits yesterday. They were barreling up.
Yo, but before that, it's just been. Again, I'm not at a point where I trust this team. They had a good night yesterday and they still lost. I just don't trust this team. Luzardo has been pitching out of his mind. Well, Gunnar Hoglund, I don't really hate him. I mean, he faced the Dodgers and the Angels, which I know that doesn't really sound like crazy, but the Dodgers both of those teams were red hot when he faced them. And I'm pretty sure the Dodgers game, he didn't give it up until the Angels game. He didn't give it up until the 5th, and then he had a 4-run 5th inning. But before that, he had been looked pretty damn well. So I would assume, as far as the Phillies are concerned, because like Kyle mentioned, this is going to be the last game of their West Coast road trip. So probably see guys like Real Muto sit, Max Kepler, something like that sit. You're probably going to see the B squad for the Phillies, like Rojas and all those guys. So first 5 under 5.5. I won't play it just because it's fantastic weather in a AAA park, but I do actually kind of like that first 5 under 5.5.
Frank?
Yeah, mine goes along with yours. I'm laying some juice here with Luzardo under 2.5 earned runs. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been doing well with these under earned runs when it's 2.5, and Luzardo's gone under this in 9 of 10 starts this year. The one where he missed, he gave up 3 earned runs. He's just been phenomenal for the Phillies. And I know good weather, minor league park, but that's given us a chance to get this 2.5 line because he's often at 1.5. And, when a pitcher's rolling, they could overcome these conditions. Look at Wheeler on Friday. He had no problem against this lineup and in this park. So I'll take the shot on Luzardo under 2.5 earned runs, given what he's done this season.
Somebody in the comments asked why not the under. The bullpen situation, for one, it's a AAA park. It's really good weather. It's just a lot of things can happen. I just want to isolate it to the starters if I possibly can.
Marlins Angels in LA.
Shout out Fish. Shout out Cal Quantrill. Shout out all the haters.
Toast got his plus 160 here last night. Marlins first 5 money line.
People be hating on Cal, Frank. I don't get it.
Nice innings eater. But here I went Angels money line.
Yeah.
Angels playing good baseball. 8-1 last 9 games. We look at our buddy John Legaze's sheet. Angels 350 ex-Woba versus righties last 14. That ranks 6th in MLB. Edward Cabrera is really volatile. We know his huge command issues. Kyle Hendricks, I know it's an ugly starter, but he's had some moments at home. I remember I bet against him the other couple weeks ago. He just dominated. Forgot who that was against. I'll have to pull it up. But really, it's just about getting a reasonable price. I got minus 130 now on the screen, minus 135, just on a team playing their best baseball of the year. Taylor Ward's on fire. Zach Neto's been great since returning. Even Yohan Moncada's hitting decently for them. Yeah. So these bats are hot. I'll take the Angels to take 2 of 3 in this series.
Toast, anything here?
No, I really want to bet the Fish. I can't. I still I guess in my head I still have a little soft spot for Cabrera. I also think that he hasn't really looked terrible over his last 3 starts, especially after that Dodger start. I think he started to look a little bit better. The walks have the walks have essentially gone away. Only one walk his last 3 starts. So I do think that Cabrera can pitch well. I'm not gonna go from betting Miami at plus 160 to getting them at a pick 'em or plus 100. So it would only be Miami for me. Both these teams have fresh bullpens essentially too. So I mean, it's kind of, everything's rested and ready to go. It would only be Miami for me. I'm just not laying minus 130 with Kyle Hendricks on the mound, but I would assume that the Angels win. That's,
I would probably say over or pass, but I don't know. I have no idea.
I was looking at the over, and then with all the bullpen arms all rested and ready to go, I was like,
what bullpen arms?
I know. I'm just saying.
Padres on the road in Atlanta. Toast kind of got screwed on this one. Took the Padres money line, and then Michael King is scratched an hour before the game.
Oh God,
that's terrible.
But damn, these Padres bats are ice cold, and that's why I'm taking first 5 under 4.5. Padres have scored 1 run or fewer in 6 of the last 8 games. I know we talked about last week Spencer Strellenbach, he's been hittable at times. But I still like him in a home spot against a cold offense. Strellenbach, 3.71 Sierra. He was a really popular breakout pick in fantasy baseball leagues. A lot of sharp people were on him. I think he's going to start to pick up his game as the season progresses. I think he has a quality outing here at home. And you look at Dylan Cease lately; he's been, getting on track. And his Sierra looks good, 3.36 Sierra for Cease. You look against the Jays, 7 innings, 3 earned runs. Angels 6 2/3, 10 Ks, 2 earned runs at Yankee Stadium for Cease, 6.2 innings, 1 earned run. So he's gotten on track. I think we see a pitcher's duel in this one.
What's the weather here
in Atlanta?
It looks weird.
It's all right. I mean, it's nothing. It's 84 degrees and no wind, really.
Apparently, there's a storm that could come in by 10, so they could squeak in the game early. Okay. Lowish chance of delay per Roto Grinders.
Why? What you thinking, Kyle?
I'm thinking, where the fuck are the runs coming from? Under 8. This game's gonna be 2-1.
Yeah, could see that totally.
What do you think, Toast?
It would only be the Braves. I mean, can't bet the Padres. Yeah, it would only be the Braves for me. It's kind of hard to make a point for the Padres right now in any way, shape, or form. So I guess maybe I really wanted to play Padres team total over 1.5 in the first 5, but just Rise the lefty, Merrill, Sheets, Cronenworth. There's a little pocket of lefties in there that might be able to give Schwelly some problems. But again, there's not enough meat on the bone for me to try to deal with it. So, and to be honest, I'm not a big Cease guy. So I think that he could rather pitch a no-hitter or he could give up 5 runs, and you really don't know either way. So it would only be Miami or Atlanta for me.
All right. Last MLB game on the board. Dodgers Mets. We'll be there.
Dodgers are taking money. That's for sure. This line's dropped about 15 cents since last night. So,
Frank, what do you think in this one?
Yeah, first of all, I hope you guys enjoy the game tonight. That's sick. Sunday Night Baseball. I'm on Knicks first 5 money line. Knicks.
I'm sorry? No, what'd you say?
Go ahead.
Knicks first 5 money. So I'm on Mets first 5 money line. Kodai Senga gives them the edge on the mound over Landon Knack. Dodgers bats are pretty cold. Our buddy John Legaze's tweet, bottom 5 team WRC plus last 7. Dodgers are 4th worst in WRC plus in those 7 days. So I think Senga could have a quality outing here, and the Mets could have a lead after 5. It's a bit juice, but I'm willing to do it with the home team with the pitching edge against cold bats.
What do you think?
I think that I'm probably just going to bet the Mets because I want to. But if I'm really going to cap the game, I guess I don't really understand the price. I don't know why it's gone down so much. I mean, I get that it's the Dodgers, but both bullpens are good to go. Nothing.
Probably no DS.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So besides that, they're fine. I mean, I'm not even the biggest Diaz guy. I mean, if Garrett or Stanek or not, I mean, I don't really like the Mets bullpen like that. But regardless, it would only be the Mets for me. My only thing is I don't really. That's 2 things for me. They kind of don't make sense. But for me, I don't really think that Landon Knack is bad. I just want to make sure that that's out there and clear. Like I think that this guy kind of gets a bad rap for a couple bad starts this year, but I think that he pitched really well last year. I think that he continued to get better. That being said, I don't really trust this iteration of the Dodgers bullpen. I've been trying to tell you guys for months now that Tanner Scott is not a closer. And obviously we've seen that so far this year. He can't figure out ways to close games. And then, I mean, the only other person in that bullpen that Kasperius and Banda, but Banda's on back-to-back days as well. So I'm probably not going to see Banda. So really the only guy in that bullpen that scares me for the Dodgers is Kasperius. So I do feel like there's a little bit of an advantage for the Mets, both as far as pitching are both starting and bullpen wise. So it would only be the Mets for me, but I think it's more of a homer pick for me. I think I'm just trying to find ways to bet the Mets if I'm being dead honest.
I don't know. I'll probably just bet it because I'll be there having some fun. All right, guys. Oh, Frank, where can they find your stuff?
Yes, you can find I post daily picks on X at FMRante TFJ. Been on a nice little heater lately. Aside from that, I write for a number of sites, Best Odds, Fantasy Pros, Rotoballer, much more in the bio. But thanks for having me on again. Enjoy the game, and let's have a big day with our bets.
Hell yeah.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Later.
Have a good night, Frank. Or day.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Where the heck is where are my Knicks graphics? Why are they not coming up? 1 second. I don't know where my Knicks graphics are. Oh, shit. There we are. Hold on. What the heck? Where did it go? I can't get my graphics to come up. I'm not sure why. I'm going to try one more time.
That's weird.
All right, there it is. No. There we go. All right. All right, putting the poll up. I mean, guys, it's the NBA, an NBA playoff game 7 hours before tip. There's no value to be found anymore. It's just gambling. But I'll be betting the Knicks to win this one. I mean, the Pacers look so freaking good. There's just one aspect of their game that I don't think is sustainable. I think a lot of what we're seeing from the Pacers is 100% believable. I mean, they're extremely well coached. The offense looks crisp. The assist to turnover ratio, extremely impressive. This is clearly a very well coached team, a very disciplined team. So I don't think there's much about the Pacers' current run that's a fluke. I think they are really that good right now. But there is one aspect of their game that I don't think is sustainable, and it's the fact that the Pacers have shot over 40% from three in both games, which is, I mean, the Pacers are not an elite three-point shooting team, and the Knicks, I mean, second half of the year, had the best three-point defense in the NBA. So the three-point shooting, not very sustainable. And I think maybe that first game is kind of skewing our vision of what this series has been. You see people talking, and you would think the Pacers dominated both games. That's not what we saw. The series should be 1-1. I'm not saying like, oh, we got robbed or anything like that. I'm just saying like the Knicks were clearly the better team in game one. It was some crazy circus shit at the end, and the Pacers deserved that. That was crazy, but it's not like the Pacers have been the significantly better team in this series. So I think maybe so a lot of people get caught up on the results. Like the last time we talked about the Knicks, people were talking about Thibodeau. And, dude, you mean if Halliburton doesn't miss that circus shot, the series is 1-1 and nobody's talking about Thibodeau. Like, I think the culture is, and I think this culture is created by like major media like ESPN. Everyone feels the need to have a hot take. Like when something happens, they're like, oh, what's my take on this? Dude, there's no take. The Pacers just look really, really good. You don't have to have a hot take. The coach doesn't need to be fired. You don't need to blow it up. Like, someone has to lose the series. And, I just think the Pacers' three-point shooting is bound to come down. And if you look at it through that lens, the Pacers are shooting the lights out from outside uncharacteristically against an elite three-point defense, and they still barely won both games. One, they needed a circus comeback to win, and the other one was a close game down to the wire as well. So we've seen two elite outside shooting nights from outside shooting games from the Pacers, and they barely won both games. They have a cold outside shooting night. I mean, the Knicks are capable of winning this game comfortably. So, yeah, should see the Knicks' best fastball tonight. They're an elite road team. They're 5-1 on the road in these playoffs so far. So going on the road into Boston, not a problem. Going on the road into Detroit wasn't a problem. The Knicks have been good on the road in these playoffs. Rolling with New York here. All right. Everyone, enjoy your Sunday. Bet responsibly. I'll be up in the city for the Mets-Dodgers game. So hit me up if you need me. Talk to you guys later.